I don't have a way to quantify it, but there is something fundamentally different about how toxic people are nowadays, just in gaming and on social media in general, than they were 5 years ago. And I wish I knew why, and I wish it wasn't this way, but I've been around on YouTube for like 8 years now, and just on social media for that amount of time too. And I can 100% tell you there's a difference between how toxic and how just rude and mean people are now versus how they were like 5 or 6 years ago, or even longer than that. It's so just like, it's mentally draining, and you may not be able to like notice it, right? Because it kind of happened gradually, right? And if you're just on social media all the time, if it's part of your daily routine, right, you don't notice like a sharp shift. It's weird. I don't really have any like hard evidence for it, but I want to share something with you guys. I'm going to be kind of like exposing myself here a little bit, but it's something I just want to share with you. I've talked with you guys about this before, but so I want to show you guys a really old gaming setup video that I did 4 years ago. It was my gaming setup in college. Yeah. So this video, 2017 college room tour. So I uploaded this video 4 years ago. I'm just gonna mute it. Dude, right off the bat, I rewatched this video just a couple days ago, and I had forgotten like how bad my acne used to be. Like all throughout high school and even the beginning part of college, this was my 100% my biggest insecurity, was how much acne I had on my face. Like it was really bad. Like this is a low quality camera, and you guys can tell like how red my face is and how irritated my face is. I had to take Accutane, which was like a pretty high level acne medication, in order to finally get rid of it. And I'm in my early 20s now, which is when most people lose it. But anyways, I was rewatching this video, and this was the first thing that struck me. I was like, holy crap, I have a lot of acne. Now, if I had uploaded this video now, the exact same video, same age that I am here, these comments, I guarantee there would be at least one person who would be making fun of my acne, you know, calling me connect the dots on the face, making fun of how many pimples I have, something like that, right? By the way, little side note, anybody who's dealing with acne right now, it 100% gets better. Talk to a dermatologist. I promise you it's worth it. I was reading through these comments. Look at all these comments from 4 years ago. Great setup, man. Wow, I wonder if this guy is going to improve his setup soon. 6 days ago from Skullgers. Haha, Skullgers, you're very funny. Yo, man, love this setup. Wish I had this setup. Sweet setup. I wish I had that setup. Sick. How much does it cost altogether? Nice, man. Nice setup, bro. Nice setup. There's not a single comment here about my acne. Not a single one. And knowing how cruel and aggressive and mean people are now, dude, if I had uploaded this on TikTok or on YouTube, or if I had put this video anywhere on social media, I guarantee you there would be a comment about how bad my acne is. And I would read those comments, right, as a YouTuber, and that would really discourage me. I would be discouraged from ever making face cam videos again, because I'd be worried about people making fun of me. This was a different time period, man. 4 years ago, I don't know what was different with social media, but dude, no one even mentioned it. And this is above average bad acne. And I know I'm like, there's not really a way to prove this isn't like necessarily super hard evidence, but I just have a hard time believing, just with how nitpicky and weird people get about comments now, right? I can guarantee you that there would be somebody nowadays, at least one person, that would be really mean and aggressive about this now. Smaller community, I guess. Yeah, but there would like, look at how many comments there are. There's still a decent amount of comments. And you could argue that maybe the 58 people that leave comments, right? Like these are just all the diehard fans and supporters that I had back when my channel was smaller, back in 2017. But still, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that no one would have made a comment about that. And again, this was probably about, this wasn't as worse as it got, but I don't know. That's noticeable, right? Like if you were to give somebody like a police sketch of me, right? Like if I committed the crime and then you had somebody like describing me, you'd be like, all right, okay, it's about 5'8", brown hair, pale skin, he had acne, right? Like this would be you would use that as a describing feature of me. I feel like since people are behind a computer screen and the toxicity in this world and the social environment is contagious, I feel like people are more comfortable saying offensive things and stuff. Yeah, and that's always been true, right? There's always been mean people on the internet, and it is easier to be mean when you don't have to say it right to someone's face. I mean, that's just human nature. You know, this is why, you know, being sociable is such an important skill. And you learn this in like kindergarten. If you walk up to somebody, right? You're young, you're learning how to talk to people for the first time, right? But you're like still articulate. You walk up to somebody and you give them an insult. You say, you look stupid, or I don't like your hair, blah, blah, blah. And you see that person's face scrunch up and they get sad. That's an icky feeling. Anybody who's not a sociopath, it feels bad to see how your comments make someone else feel. But when you remove that and you're behind a computer screen and you say it to somebody and you don't get to see how they react to your comment face to face, then all you're really doing is getting a feeling of you're bringing yourself up. If I type a mean comment about somebody, I'm feeling better about myself, because most likely whatever I'm making fun of them for, I don't have to deal with. And I know that's such a cliche, right? To say that people are more bold over the internet. like people have made that point forever. So there's nothing really new to say there. It's like, wow, has the toxic level of social media just changed that much? And again, this isn't really like a super great example. I wish I had a better example to share with you guys, but when I rewatched this video a couple days ago, that was the first thing that struck me. But it probably didn't even cross my mind when I uploaded it, 4 years ago. Yeah, bro, one time in kindergarten, I called a girl fat because I spoke my mind and I saw her sadness and worse, and I would never say anything bad to anyone's face again intentionally, right? And you remembered that moment, right? Because it sucks. Anybody who has any feeling of empathy, if you say something mean to someone else's face, right, and you insult them, they're going to get sad, right? You're going to be able to feel the vibe and the energy from that person that what you said to them they didn't like. And that's a sucky feeling. It sucks to make other people feel bad, right? So you're not going to do it again. But again, that all gets removed through social media. I sound like such a effing boomer, man. But this stuff, it baffles me. It really does. It's super interesting, I think. Super interesting. I wish I had a better answer for this, but I just don't. I wish toxicity just wasn't that bad, man. Because it like, what I start to think about and what starts to make me really sad is if I was an up and coming YouTuber today, right? Like if I was just starting my YouTube channel now and I was putting out content, the amount of toxic comments that I would get would seriously deter me from ever making content again. And that literally breaks my heart, dude, because I know most likely there are people out there, or there's some young kid out there, some young teen or preteen that wants to make a YouTube channel and they enjoy gaming and they're inspired by some other creator that they watch and they want to make content on it, and they'll get mean comments, and that will it will deter them from ever making another video or ever live streaming ever again. It hurts their creativity, and that sucks. I mean, granted, it's just one of the weird things that you have to deal with when you're doing anything public in this space, right? Like you're making content for other people. So obviously people are going to comment on what you're doing, but I wish that it wasn't as aggressive and as mean as it is, man. Like, you know what's crazy? I remember when I released my very first video ever, and it wasn't even on this channel. It was one of my super old channels back in like 2012. And it was when I was too scared to do voice commentary. So I would upload just gameplay. But then I remember I uploaded my very first voice commentary. It was the first time I ever spoke into a microphone and let people hear what I sounded like. I got one comment on that video, and the comment said, "You have a great speaking voice. You should make more videos." I've been doing YouTube for 7 to 8 years. I've never forgotten that comment. If that comment was different, I wouldn't be here. 100% I can guarantee you that. Whatever age I would have been, right? I would have been like 13 or 14 years old. That comment would have pissed me off. It would have made me feel self-conscious, and I wouldn't have made another video. And that sucks, man. That really sucks. It makes me so sad. I don't even have words really to describe, like, yeah. I don't know. And I get that toxicity is just, it's part of what it is, right? So obviously I'm not expecting that toxicity is ever going to completely go away, right? Like it's always going to be there. And you kind of need it to have some sort of a healthy balance, right? In the same way that you need to have bad days in order to know what a good day feels like, right? Like it's part of human nature. It's always going to be there. It's never going away. And part of it is just, that so many people on the internet, especially in this space that we're in, right, with gaming, it's a much younger demographic. A lot of kids just don't have the maturity really to understand the impact that their comments have, right? And once you grow older, you really start to understand the impact that you have when you leave a comment on someone else's content or anything, when you leave a comment on anything online. Yeah, I really wish that it was different, man. I don't know how to make it different, but I wish it was different. I raised my daughter to respect others. Parents have a lot to do with how kids act towards people. I agree with that. I agree. But there's a certain level of like, yeah, I think a lot of it does fall on the parents too. But at some point, especially nowadays, as a parent, you do have to expose your kid to social media, right? Like you can't, there gets to a certain point, right? Like whatever your beliefs are as a parent, where you're going to have to give your kid a phone, right? And your kid's going to get access to, they're going to get their first email, right? Something super innocent like that. They're going to get access to a Twitter account, or they're going to get a Facebook account, or they're going to make a Snapchat or an Instagram or something. And then they're going to get access to comments. They're going to be able to have other people comment on whatever they post. And they're going to be able to see comments that other people post, and they're going to be able to comment on other people's posts. And what sucks is that you can't really keep people, especially younger people, from that sort of content anymore. You really can't. Like I remember when I was growing up, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was sophomore in high school, maybe freshman in high school, maybe even later than that. I remember in middle school, I had a track phone, right? Which is like the equivalent of giving your grandmother a life alert. Like I literally, I could barely browse the web on it. It had a tiny little screen. I could make basic phone calls. And I remember having an iPod, right? This was back when the iPod was still a thing, but I really wanted an iPhone. That was just cool. That was what all the cool kids had. And my parents didn't want me to get one. And I wasn't really in social media at that point, right? But it was, I don't know. This whole talk has kind of turned into a ramble, and it's kind of changed topics, but I don't know. There's some deeper societal conversation that needs to be had. And I think it has something to do with part of it is the fact that everyone puts so much of their life out there, and they try to put so much of the best moments of their life, that when you go onto social media and you see how great everyone else is doing, maybe that brings you down a little bit. You know, wait a minute, this person's smiling and they're at the beach and they're fit and they're good looking and they're with this person and, you know, life seems to be going great for them. Why isn't it going great for me? That makes you upset, and then you are more aggressive towards people. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm literally just spitballing, you know, who knows? But, Jesus, man, I don't know. So I don't really know what's going to change. The bad thing is that it's probably only going to get worse, because the competition to either bring yourself up the social ladder or the competition to make yourself feel like you're above other people is only going to get more difficult, right? Especially in social media, as the average age of when you get exposed to that gets younger and younger. It's just going to get harder, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't want to speak in definitives because, you know, I don't want to make a claim that sounds stupid. This is just off the cuff, what I'm giving you. Someone once told me to always be kinder than you have to be, and that really stuck with me. I don't know. It's impossible to live 100% true to those standards, right? Because some people will treat you in a shitty way, right? Just to put it plainly. And I do believe to some degree that, you know, you do need to make it clear to other people how you treat them. So I'm not necessarily 100% of the belief that you need to treat everybody with 100% kindness, regardless of how they treat you. Because some people are just shitty, unfortunately, right? As long as you can sleep at night knowing that you're comfortable and happy and proud of who you are, that's really all that it should come down to. As long as you can justify in your own head all the actions that you take, right? And you're going to make mistakes, but as long as you can rest well knowing that whatever decision you made, whatever you said felt right to you, you know what I mean? Because it just takes one comment, man. All it would have taken is that one comment that I got on that very first commentating video to be different, and I wouldn't be making YouTube videos. I wouldn't be in this position. Who knows where I would have been, right? I don't know what other points I'm making. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but that's all I got to say. Long talk, but we went over a lot of good points. I always enjoy these talks because it just gives me something to walk away with and think about. Anyways, chat, that's going to do it for this talk. This will be a Henis highlight video. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, leave any comments, thoughts in the comments section of the Henis highlight video. I always read through the Henis highlight video comments. If you guys don't know about my Henis highlights channel, here it is. But a lot of the times it's just me reacting to stuff or talking about stuff other than gaming. Sort of like a little bit more of a personality, low-key channel for anybody who's into that. So go check that out. Content on that channel daily. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Hopefully you guys took something away from this. I did, right? Talking to you guys and even just talking out loud always helps me with this sort of stuff. So good stuff, guys. Good stuff.